What's cracking? This is Darren, PhatMan, McDuffie, and I'm going to talk today about Chick-fil-A and just more so the undercurrent of what I think are the real issues in this whole thing. The first thing is some lessons, some life lessons that I learned, and they were very hard life lessons. But the first thing is this, is that when people show you who they are, you have to believe them the first time. So Dan Cathy is asked his opinion about what he thinks about marriage, and he says that he believes in traditional marriage. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Now, what I think about this whole thing is we waste too much time as human beings trying to change someone else's beliefs. Think of how many beliefs that we have, and the beliefs that you have, what you're seeing on the surface is just 5%, and 95% of your beliefs are subconscious. So we waste so much time trying to change another person when we can use that energy to affect change as a whole. Now, the second thing is what I think is very, very important about this, and I'm going to say this, and I learned this from listening to Les Brown. Les Brown is a motivational speaker for those of you who might be watching the video and don't know it. But one of the things that he said that really stuck to me is go where you're celebrated and not where you're tolerated. And you have to ask yourself, if you're a gay person or if you're a person that believes in gay rights, ask yourself, am I going where I am celebrated or am I going where I am tolerated? If you go to where you're celebrated, people will always want you there. People will always support you. If you go where you're tolerated, you're being just that. You're being tolerated. So what you have to see in this whole thing is the fact that corporations control what we're doing. So if you want to speak to a corporation, you have to speak to a corporation with dollars and cents. I don't believe in Chick-fil-A. I've changed my dietary habits. I don't believe that you can take pressed chicken and pass it off as something that's a good fast food and think that it's nutritious. So I don't go there and I don't spend my money. If you don't believe in Dan Cathy's views, then don't go there and spend your money. I've been watching the news, which is something I don't normally do, but they have managed to make this guy even more rich than he already is by bringing attention to his restaurant. So now people are having, going on different sides, and now they're supporting him and going to his restaurants in droves. So what everybody has done by bringing the focus and attention to Chick-fil-A is made them rich. So when you want to speak to a corporation and you don't agree with what they're doing, then what you ought to do is speak with your dollars. Don't go in there and spend your dollars. And the problem that I have with a lot of this is that people will make a big deal about it, and they'll get on TV and they'll talk about it and they'll rehash it, and then they'll go right in there on a day when they're hungry and give their money to Dan Cathy again. So what's wrong with this whole thing? Corporations are controlling America, and a lot of people think that it's our political system. If you look at most of the politicians, the corporations have most of our politicians in their back pocket. You can believe that. You cannot believe that. But if you do the research, you'll see what I'm saying. Now, the other thing is, I want to kind of spin the Olympics in this as well. And you'll see what I'm saying about why corporations control America. If you look on the Olympics, the two biggest sponsors of the Olympics are McDonald's and Coca-Cola. Now, we have the Olympics, which is about athletic prowess, being in shape, showing, physicality on all levels. And then we have a junk food distributor, two junk food distributors, actually being the biggest sponsors over the Olympics. So what is the mockery in that? And a lot of people talk all this stuff about how they wish everything would be more nutritious and how we could move towards a better society and actually have better food in our society. But we go and we spend our dollars in McDonald's, or we give our money to Coke. If you want to look at this from another standpoint, most of the corporations are supporting what I call genetically modified foods. You have, the corporations that I mentioned. You have a lot of the other corporations that are supporting genetically modified foods. And this is a way because they can produce cheaper products and bring a bigger profit to the corporation. So this whole thing about Chick-fil-A in other corporations is we need to start speaking with our dollars instead of letting these people overrun. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But when you want to hurt a corporation, you want to speak with your dollars, and you want to take a stand by doing that, not by standing in front of Chick-fil-A and actually saying, okay, well, I'm going to show some type of solidarity. It doesn't work like that, because as long as you are spending your money with them, then you are supporting them. If you decide to say, hey, you know what, I'm not going to spend any more money with these corporations, then you're hitting them where it hurts. And we spend a lot of time in our society being segmented. And when you're segmented, you can't have any type of focus. It's like, you know, you have all these rays of sunshine, but if you take a magnifying glass and you put the sun under that magnifying glass and shine it on an ant, it's actually going to burn that ant. And until we get focused, nothing's going to happen. And until people get out of these little pockets and start to believe that we can affect real change on a bigger level, and everybody has to be engulfed in that, then we'll affect real change. But until we do that, everybody's going to stay segmented in their little pockets, and we're all going to have our own issues, and we're never going to get anything done on a bigger plane. So that's what I think about the whole Chick-fil-A fiasco, and this is probably going to be my last political video, but I think that I needed to say this because it's not more so whether someone believes in traditional marriage. It's more so of being really thinking about what is actually controlling America, and this is a corporation, and we need to start speaking with our dollars and not supporting things that we don't believe in. So this has been Darren McDuffie, the Fat Man. Visit me at truefromthetrainer.com, and also my blog specifically dedicated to women. That's myworkoutroutinesforwomen.com. And leave me some comments on this YouTube video. I mean, I know I have my own opinion. I know you have yours, and I'd like to hear your opinion. All right, talk to you later. Check me out again. Thanks.